So you want to go to the gym, you want to build muscle, but you tell yourself you don't have the time. Well, you came to the right place, because in this video, I'm gonna talk about how to have a good, effective workout in less time, potentially under 30 minutes. And the best part is you can apply my advice in literally your next workout. So it's gonna be super versatile. You can apply it immediately. So let's get to the first exercise and my first tip. So if you're trying to make your workouts more efficient, the first place you likely should look is your workout volume, which is essentially the number of sets you're training for a specific muscle group. I think a lot of people have this misconception where the more volume you do, the more muscle you're gonna build, but that's not necessarily true. Meaning lesser volume doesn't necessarily mean a worse workout. In fact, it can be on the other end where if you're doing too much volume, you might be accumulating something known as junk volume more than actual effective volume. This generally happens when you go to Google for your workout routines. Like if you look up chest workout, back workout. This bro split style training generally is gonna give you a lot of volume all within one workout because you're only training one muscle group for that day. And there comes a point where you have to ask yourself, when you're on your 5th exercise for biceps in that given day, is this set actually worth it? Nowadays, as a way to make my workouts more efficient, I only train 2 sets for each exercise I do. Because it's not necessarily about the number of sets you do all in one workout, it's more about your total volume across the end of the week. And by the end of the week, I'm still hitting around 8 to 10 sets on average per muscle group, which is in line with what's considered optimal. I also want to add that frequency plays a role in optimizing muscle growth, because studies have shown that training muscle group twice per week is better than once per week for muscle growth. Overall, if you're concerned about volume, I recommend bringing your frequency from once per week with a bro split to twice per week, splitting your workout exercises across multiple days. Let's say you normally do 3 back exercises all in one workout. Instead of doing all 3 in one day, you should save that 3rd back exercise for a later day, and this way you're gonna be more fresh, there's less fatigue when you do that 3rd exercise on that later date, and you're meeting your frequency requirements. Now, the second thing you should be doing to make your workouts more efficient is incorporate supersets, which is essentially when you take 2 exercises, you do them back to back in one combined set with 1 rest period. Now, you can do supersets with pretty much any exercise. However, the ideal way to use them to make your workouts more efficient is do them antagonistically, which is essentially when the 2 exercises that you choose involve opposing muscle groups, so that the first exercise isn't gonna hinder your performance on the second exercise because you're working on the same muscle group for both. And by doing antagonistic supersets like how I use them, you're able to save time on the rest periods while also killing 2 birds with 1 stone, because you're getting workout volume on 2 different muscle groups. All right, the third piece I want to talk about and how you can make your workouts more efficient is intensity. Now, intensity is how much effort you're putting towards each set. And the intensity you should be training at is partially determined by how much volume you're doing in one workout. Generally speaking, the more volume you're incorporating in one workout, the less your intensity should be in order to make sure you're not getting injured, you're not overtraining, and essentially to make sure you're not absolutely hating yourself. And because we talked earlier about decreasing volume, then you probably should be training with a lot of intensity in your workouts. Now, it's one thing for me to say, oh, you should be training with high intensity, but how do you actually quantify intensity? One way you can do that is by asking yourself after you finish a set, realistically, if a gun was pointed to my head, how many more reps could I have gotten before I reached failure? And whatever number that is your reps in reserve, or RIR. This is what you use to quantify how hard you're pushing each set. Now, because you're doing less volume, I would aim for every single training set, you should be trying to train at least to RIR 2, meaning a reps in reserve of 2. 2 reps shy of failure, at least. Now, keep in mind, RIR 2 is the minimum I would consider to be an effective set. In fact, you should be taking some of your sets to failure because it is a way to audit your perception of RIR. Let me explain. Let's say you did a set of preacher curls for 8 reps and you're like, yeah, that was probably RIR 2. But then you take the next set to failure with the same weight and everything, and it turns out you end up getting 12 reps. Meaning, what you thought was RIR 2 was actually RIR 4. And this is actually a very common thing. Lifters are known to greatly overestimate their perceived exertion. So by training to failure, it's kind of like an insurance policy to make sure that you're actually training hard enough. Last thing I want to talk about are intensity techniques. These are techniques you can do when your back is against the wall, you only have 10 to 15 minutes and you only have time to do 1 set per exercise. By using these intensity techniques, you try to maximize the number of effective reps you're getting in a short period of time. And I'll explain. The first technique I want to talk about are lengthened partials. This one is super simple. Essentially, you take a set to failure with full range of motion like you normally do. Once you reach failure, instead of ending the set there, you do another few sets with a partial range of motion, specifically in the more stretched portion of an exercise. In the case of, let's say, this preacher curl, it would be this lower bottom half. This is known as the more lengthened portion of the range of motion. So think of lengthened partials as full range of motion set to failure, plus a few more reps with partial range of motion to failure again. This is admittedly a less extreme intensity technique that you can pretty much use on a daily basis if you really want to, but my personal recommendation is I would save it to the last set of each exercise if you're gonna do it. But these next two intensity techniques are not for the faint of heart. You should be saving these as your trap card. It will pretty much leave your gas tank on empty for pretty much any exercise you do, no matter how short it is. And that is rest pause method slash myo reps. Now both are very similar. They aim to maximize the number of effective reps you're getting in a set. And if you're not familiar with the idea of effective reps are essentially those reps near failure where the concentric speed tends to slow and every single rep feels like a grind. Basically, your muscles experience the highest degree of mechanical tension, which is the main driver of hypertrophy, in those last few reps. The idea with these intensity techniques are, again, to maximize the number of reps that are actually hard in the first place. All right, so here's how the rest pause method goes. I'm gonna demonstrate it live on this back supported hammer curl. Ideally, you want to do this on a stable exercise, ideally also an isolation exercise over a compound exercise. So what we're going to do here is take one set to RIR1, so stopping just one rep shy of failure, and then we're going to rest for 20 minutes, and then hop back on, same exercise, take another set to RIR1, rest another 20 seconds, and take that final set all the way to failure. So we're essentially reducing the rest time and giving ourselves mini breaks so that when we hop on for the second and third set, pretty much every single rep from there is going to be an effective rep. So here we go.
UAV recon standing by. Counter UAV standing by. Repeat, counter UAV standing by. Predator missile ready for deployment. Harrier standing by. Emergency airdrop ready for delivery. Payload standing by. Set two, here we go. UAV recon standing by. Repeat, UAV recon is standing by. UAV recon ready for
Alright, then final set, here we go. Boom, all the way to failure. 2.
Care package ready for delivery.
I'm also going to string in another intensity technique right here and bust in some lengthened partials once I can't do full range. And that is your rest pause method. Now I'm gonna show you myo reps. I'm definitely not gonna be doing on this exercise. I need to find a different muscle group to train. So I think I'm gonna do it on a machine lateral raise. Let me show you. Now the myo rep cluster set is like a rest pause method, but we add a condition. And once that condition isn't met, you stop your set there. So with myo reps, you generally wanna work in a higher rep range, around 10 to 15 reps. You're gonna take the first set, they call it an activation set, all the way to failure, and from there rest 5 to 15 seconds. After that 5 to 15 second rest, you're gonna jump into your first mini set, so your second set, and take that all the way to failure, ideally reaching around 3 to 5 reps. And then after the 15 seconds, you're gonna jump into another mini set, using same weight, same everything, and you repeat this up to 5 mini sets, so 6 sets total. However, you don't always always go all the way to the 5th mini set, because once you get 2 reps less than your first mini set, you end the set there. So it kind of adds this like game element to it where you kind of want to get to your 5th mini set. Now if that didn't make sense, I'm going to demonstrate it right now on this exercise. Let's see how I do.
So many things in my room, but I still miss you. So many things bad for you, and I'm on this list, but I would die for you many times.
Sentry gun ready for deployment. Mark the DZ. Helicopter ready for deployment. Repeat, helicopter ready for deployment. AC-130 ready for deployment.
All right, we got 10 reps. Rest starts now. 5 seconds. 6, 7, 8.
Light lead standing by. Ready to jam enemy radar.
4. All right, 15-second rest. Now what determines whether I keep going or not is if I get at least 3 reps. If I get 2 reps, that's 4 minus 2. That means I got 2 reps less than my first mini set. I would stop the cluster set there. All right, here we go, second set.
RTX ready for deployment. Care package ready for delivery. Locked and easy.
All right, I got 5 there. The 15-second rest really helped out. So I'm gonna rest for another 15 seconds. At this rate, I think I'm gonna go all the way to the 5th mini set.
I'm lost in the
3, all right, I just made it. Now, another 15-second rest. I'm on my 4th set, my 3rd mini set. I can do 2 more sets. Let's see if I finish and go all the way, baby. 5, 4, I wasn't even counting. 3, 2, 1. So that was the 5th set, 4th mini set. We're officially making it all the way, but can I get at least 3 reps? We'll see. Can I get the UAV recon standing by? All right, here we go. 1, 2.
UAV recon standing by.
Oh, you can see how doing that gets you gassed. Like, I'm pretty much dead. I don't need to do any other lateral side delt exercise after this. And what, that took me like less than 5 minutes to do? Now keep in mind, guys, using these intensity techniques, whether it be lengthen partials, rest pause method, or myo reps, they're not better than just doing straight sets with adequate rest times and progressive overloading. Again, use this as a last resort. If your back's against the wall, you don't have a whole lot of time, these can be effective because it obviously, again, maximizes the number of effective reps you get. I've been repeating that all video. With that said, that is how you get a good workout in possibly under 30 minutes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned a lot from it. Leave a like to support my page. Hit subscribe if you want to see more videos just like this. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.